everybody, how you doing? God, it's been so long. I am Jason Flom. His mind is getting dirty, around 11:30. It's Peter Tietjen.
His mind's getting dirty, around of all songs. All songs.
Hey, it fits into the theme of the day.
I couldn't be, what is it, Lord of the Giver of the Light, or what is it, Lord of the Flies, or anything.
Because I know you. Okay. It's Revenge Day. And when I say day, I truly mean day, because this is our first episode. This is our 36th, but our first episode we've ever did during the daytime. We always do it on Tuesday nights, and here we are, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, hanging out. I'm day drinking.
Still day drinking.
He literally woke up like 15 minutes before I got here. So we're ready to go, though, I hope. I would like to think. We're doing Revenge. We've been talking about this one from 1992.
We've been talking about it for like 6 months.
Yeah, and finally we're getting to it. So Sorry for the delay. Life stuff happens. He's in the middle of moving, so you might see a whole new backdrop behind us soon.
Yeah.
But, stick with us.
Or we'll be in a bathroom. You'll see a digital.
Yeah, it'll be digital. So,
green screen.
We're not going away, but stick with us through these times, please. He's got something he wants to show really quick. This is very cool. Right there.
Oh, we're showing this first.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, Jeff. I went to school with Jeff. And you know what? Jeff had that back patch. You know that Creatures back patch that was out there for a while? It was a Creatures one. It's like the pink poster, but without the pink behind it.
Do I know Jeff?
Jeff O'Neill. I don't know if you know him. He never comes to shows at the Valley, so you probably don't know him from me.
Hi, Jeff. Come to the Valley sometime.
Jeff. But, of course, the cool thing, other people have showed this, but really quick. The funny thing is I got this about three days after our Eric Carr episode.
We did an Eric Carr episode, and this hadn't arrived yet, but it's here now.
So, of course, this is a really cool picture disc. And me and everybody just loves that it's imaged after the picture discs from the other four.
The halo effect.
The whole thing. And the black border here. Just the whole thing is 1978, man. But to me, one of the coolest things is...
See, I've never even seen this. Wow.
It's not full size.
They should have cut it out just for the hell of it. Like, put cuts in it.
If put cuts in it, yeah. But, well, now it can be its own poster, though.
True.
Yeah, anyway, very cool, though. Very cool that they did it. And it does match those posters pretty well.
Have you listened to it?
Oh, yeah. Some good stuff on there.
And for the next 45 minutes, Peter's review of the Eric album.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
And that's it. But it's not real good. It's demos. It's stuff they didn't use. It's whatever.
So you can't clip that up to the other solo albums as a comparison?
Hell no.
Okay.
But it's got some fun stuff on there.
I do want to say really quick, when I walked in here, I had never seen this before.
You like
pictures.
It also makes me like a Madonna mole there too. The whole I don't know. No one's probably said that.
Yes. Well, let's show it closer. Anyway, when I walked in, I was looking at this in person for the first time, and I love the way they did the back all authentic like that.
Yeah.
And literally, you were in the other room. I was looking at it. I literally got chills because it was like I was holding like a new solo album.
A new solo album.
Which I know it's not,
Totally.
but it looks so much like one. They did a great job.
Wait, who does it say it's to?
It's they thank people.
Oh, special thanks.
So special thanks on top instead of dedicated to.
That makes sense.
But very cool, and I like that they used orange for his halo effect.
Yeah, Jeff got this for me because he went to a record store day, and he didn't find that much for himself, but he saw this. He knew he was right.
Jeff, I would have paid you back for one, man. Come on.
Yeah, in the future, get two. It's really nice of you, but not good enough. You need. No, thanks, Jeff.
What? Not two? Just one? No, that's very cool, Jeff. So yeah, we're getting into Revenge. I hate to say it, but you can't get into Revenge without kind of getting into a somber kind of event that happened before that. Obviously, we lost Eric Carr before this. Brain cancer. We won't get into it because we want to keep this a nice, fun, energetic episode. Heart cancer, yeah. Did I say brain? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Heart cancer.
Heart cancer on the brain. So
yeah.
So he had heart cancer. He had a surgery, and then they're already figuring out how they're going to get the album done.
Yeah.
And I guess the bones in his chest weren't really all the way hardened yet. And they did the song for they did. They had already done the song from the soundtrack, but they started the album. I guess he said it would take months and months to heal, to really to be not taking any chances.
So they moved on without him, and he was hurt by that. But you know, the theory was that he was going to come back when healthy. But at a certain point, he was given a certain amount of time to live. And sure enough, passed November 1991. So they were in the midst of recording this.
And he does do backup vocals on
God Gave Rock and Roll to You too.
When I heard that, I thought, did they get Elliott Smith to do vocals on that? Because they knew Elliott Smith's cool and they want to have some kind of underground.
Nobody out there even knows about Elliott Smith.
Oh, a lot of people know who Elliott Smith is.
Okay.
The XO album, that's great.
Oh, I love the guy.
But I thought, is that Elliott Smith? I really thought it was Elliott. I thought, could they be that cool and in the know with the underground scene to know that was
would Elliott Smith
that he
would
was
he have
cool,
done that?
Well, I don't. He wouldn't. I don't know if he would have.
Elliott Smith, by the way, was a Northwest guy. Much like us.
No, he spread out pretty far.
Yeah, I mean,
not like Beck, but they were buddies in the old days. But anyway, it's Eric.
Yeah, Elliott Smith, great singer-songwriter. Rest in peace. If you want to look up his history, very interesting way that he passed. Let's just say that. But anyway,
check out the XO album first.
XO. Either or is a good one too.
Yeah.
So Eric passed, and this, of course, is dedicated to him. And they threw on the car jam at the end, which we'll get to, and we do the track by track here in a second. But another ex-Kiss member was involved in this, so let's get into that really quick.
Vinnie Cosano.
I read, this is funny too. I read that they reconnected with Vinnie because he showed up at an EZO concert in Hollywood or whatever that Gene happened to be at. And Vinnie, hey, if you ever want to write songs again.
Really?
Yeah, but that kind of sounds suspicious to me. Like, did Vinnie just happen to go to this EZO show and run into Gene, or did he kind of figure Gene would be there and so he could hit him up? Either way, they enlisted Vinnie to co-write some songs.
Yeah, him and Gene got together, like, what, at a hotel or something, and wrote some stuff.
Yeah,
and
they probably made the agreement there, let's meet up at so-and-so. And so 3 songs came out of that partnership.
So okay, which ones is that? Unholy and what else?
I Just Wanna, and
I Just Wanna.
The Paul song towards the end.
Heart of Chrome. Heart of Chrome.
Yeah.
So, Heart of Chrome's okay, but I Just Wanna, I mean... People talk about this album's really strong because Vinnie came back for a bit, but for me personally, Unholy is the only one that I really love that he was part of, and the parts of it that I love really feel like Gene moments to me. So I don't really know how much he helped the album, but Heart of Chrome, it's good. It's a good song, but
I actually love Heart of Chrome.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a track by track, really quick. I mean, you mentioned Unholy. That'll be the first track we talk about here in a second. So this album was recorded. If there was a studio in Los Angeles, they were there. I mean, and let's talk about this producer guy they wrangled up.
Who is it?
So when they did the song for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, I think that's what it's called.
Excellent Adventure, Bogus Journey.
One of those two.
Uh-huh.
They enlisted Bob Ezrin. They wanted to reconnect and see what they just did this one song for the movie just to see how it would turn out. Because let's face it, last time they worked with Bob was during The Elder, and Bob had some disco dusk problems, and he was off the cocaine. He seemed to be in good spirits, and the song came out great. And they decided to do a whole album with him. And why not? Destroyer, The Elder, and I know a lot of people don't like The Elder, but come on.
But when you look at the albums he really did with them,
they're
Destroyer,
not just...
Elder, Revenge. If you get over the you don't want to hear the Tony Power song or whatever it is you don't like about the Elder. I mean, the Elder musically fucking rules.
Absolutely.
Those 3 albums, he definitely pushed them.
Yeah.
To not be lazy and say no, let's put some little tricks in here. Let's say this album is full of little tricks and little figures all the time and little key changes, constantly making these songs interesting. Even the songs on here that I'm not even into. I have to admit, they're done well. You know, it's just not my thing to be into stripper songs, but. You know, but all of them, their arrangements are very interesting. You know.
Bob Ezrin likes to really insert himself in what he's doing, and so he's got a lot of co-writes on this, and his stamp is all over it. So yeah, Bob Ezrin, I've gone on record sitting right in this chair talking to you guys. He's my favorite Kiss producer. He's my favorite producer.
Favorite Alice producer.
He's my favorite producer. Period.
He's probably my favorite Peter Gabriel producer too.
There you go.
First
Maybe
album.
possibly Pink Floyd as well. But yeah, Bob Ezrin, he's the man. I'm glad they got together with him this last time. Yeah, they recorded all over LA. And you know, it was a return to the harder, kind of darker sound. Because let's face it, that's what was going on at the time. Grunge was absolutely 110% in full force when this came out.
And it is kind of ironic and almost sad that the Kiss we know from Alive, it takes that scene to be happening for them to come back around to it.
True.
I wish they just did their thing. I wish they just stayed like they were on Asylum and just kept doing that.
So, are you saying if it wasn't for the Seattle scene, this album wouldn't be what it is?
That's true. That's probably
wow.
true. See,
Seattle's like 30 miles up this freeway right over here, and I'm proud to be from this area, Seattle area. And I actually love the whole grunge movement and all that. So.
It's also Metallica and stuff too, though. Of course, it's not just grunge. I mean,
true.
In fact, the quality of musicianship on this album
but
is
Kiss has long
kind of
hair.
beyond grunge. You know what I mean? I mean, this is the step up.
Yeah, it's beyond grunge. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, Kiss. Let's face it, they're not a grunge band. Okay?
Yeah.
And we'll get to Carnival of Souls here soon.
I mean, with the drummer and guitar player on this album, I mean, this album was some high quality stuff. You know.
It is. When you got Ezrin involved, you're going to get high quality results.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it then, track by track.
So what do you think about that shitty song Unholy? I mean, kind of poopy, huh?
What's next? Take it off.
Yeah, forget it. Take it off now. There's a winner.
Unholy.
So Unholy's just like I just mentioned a minute ago, full of tricks and key changes and cool little riffs.
And you know what's kind of funny is that opening really chunky guitar that's Vinnie Vincent. No, before that. That's Vinnie. Vinnie's playing on this album.
Oh, so he played on it too.
Yeah, I read that.
I didn't
in
know
more
he
than
played
one
it.
place.
Really?
Yeah, but that's his only contribution to.
At the start?
Yeah, the very, very beginning. Literally, push play.
Just the noises at the start? That's all they saved?
Yeah. But yeah, then that's, of course, I would assume Bruce playing the rest.
Have you looked up demos for these? Like, is there Vinnie demos of these songs? I guess I kind of haven't.
No, there's not available. No, that would be very well documented. So I've never ran across it. But yeah, Unholy, come on. That's the Return of the Demon right there. That's Gene, like, without makeup, but acting like he has makeup. That's
yeah. And with his screams, oh my God, the guitar sound, all of it,
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an absolute. And our friend Brant actually pointed this out. Hey, I give credit where credit's due. This is the first Kiss album that Gene has a lead-off song on. Pretty amazing. Also, Unholy.
Well, Alive, of course, but it's a studio album. Yeah.
But Unholy is the first single on the album, and it's the first Gene single since.
And he got 2 albums in a row with lead-off songs.
Oh, good point.
Because Hate.
Good point.
Yeah.
So they knew a good thing when it was happening. I Love It Loud, of course, was the first single of Creatures, another Gene song, and ironically, a Gene Vinnie Vincent song. So, and 82, 92.
They're like, hey, let's go back to court.
Yeah. So, oh man, I mean, you're not getting. Unholy, is that the one Kiss song that every Kiss fan can agree is fucking awesome?
Yeah. Somebody at the Valley, some douchebag was like, Kiss sucks. I put on Unholy right after that. He turned around and said, this is the only good song, though. Well, I can tell what
even he had to admit.
I can tell what his generation is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But whatever. So, Unholy is so killer. You know.
Oh, I mean, come on. That heavy part towards the middle when it's dun dun dun. That's right there. That's the best moment on this album.
You know, the thing is, people would like to say, "Oh, they're going for Alice in Chains, Metallica, and Soundgarden and stuff," but those bands, they're into like Hotter Than Hell. You know, it just goes full circle. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like Kiss at this point. It was like, okay, it's okay to be heavy now. There's a market for it again.
Yeah.
So what they do, they put Gene up front. They put him in the first video. That video is badass.
Yes, it is.
And I even like the Domino video. I just think it's cool seeing Gene in the driver's seat. He's driving in the video.
Yeah.
So, cool stuff.
Yeah, Unholy. I mean, come on. Up next would be
Jason's favorite song.
No, Peter's favorite song.
Jason's favorite song.
Hey, I do like the song. I do like it. Take it off. Co-written with Mr. Kane Roberts of the Alice Cooper Band. Well, he wasn't in Alice's band then, but everyone knows Kane. You know, the Rambo-looking guy, big guy.
Oh, yeah.
On Constrictor and Raise Your Fist and Yell. Actually, a very talented songwriter. Has some pretty good solo albums out as well.
At the time, I liked Constrictor when it came out.
Oh, Constrictor's... And the album after that is so much better.
Raise Your
Fist and Yell.
Yeah.
So written by Paul, Bob, and the aforementioned Kane Roberts. It's a stripper song, let's face it.
Yeah. It's written to be a stripper song.
So, I don't know, taking a cue from Girls, 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 I guess?
Yeah, and Def Leppard, did they have their stripper song yet? Or yeah, they did.
Which was what?
From Hysteria. It was,
Pour Some Sugar on Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for me, it's not that it's a stripper song. I'm just joking. I just don't like it at all.
Really?
Not
at all?
I think it's the
Not even that opening
shit.
riff?
Okay, I'll just say it right here. And I'm a Paul lover. Love Paul. Love everything about Paul. But in this era, I feel like he wasn't quite caught up yet to what they were doing. I feel like, and it shows with that ballad. Although he probably thought that was the best of the album. But all of the Paul songs, my review of the album is the Gene songs are thank God Gene came back and they let him be heavy. And I wish there was an EP with just Gene songs. That's my kind of, and I hate to be mean to Paul like that. Because, Paul's the king of the mountain. You know what I mean? He's got the magic touch. But this album and the next album, I just feel like he ain't fitting in, He still felt very LA, which probably gives this album a really good balance for people, really, because those people that had a Bullet Boys tape next to a Metallica tape, they were happy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it had a balance.
Yeah.
Kind of existing between two worlds.
It's a very good point.
But if it were just a Gene album, this would have been a straight up thrash album.
Isn't it kind of ironic that Gene welcomed this sound and this era so much?
That they helped create originally.
I mean, Gene's looking like Tom Araya's cousin.
Yeah.
If you look at his image,
Yeah, totally.
And Paul he looks a little out of place. I think at one point he was wearing a shirt that said fuck or something.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I hate to talk shit about Paul. Enough people do that, but
you have to like his vocals on this album, though.
Only his voice was still amazing.
Yeah.
And his songs are really well constructed, great songs. I mean, a great chorus that lifts it where it needs to go and all that. But I just don't like it. He's still trying to sing high all the time, and to me, it's just kind of out of place. It's white.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Take It Off. No, I think it's a good song. I do.
I think for just like God Gave Rock and Roll, I think it's a good live song. I think it's a good crowd sing-along live song. Probably
why they play it at the end of their shows, kind of a anthemic kind of, we're in this together kind of moment.
Gets the average fan pumped.
Yeah.
So.
Take It Off, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near my favorite on the album, but, it serves its purpose as a second song, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I love Paul's vocals on this album. We'll get more to that here in a second. Tough Love, based on a Bruce Kulick guitar riff. And Bruce, by the way, secret hero of this album. MVP for me.
His solos rule on this album.
Oh, man. And some of those riffs. I guess Bob Ezrin told Bruce, he kind of challenged him. He said, I want you to play from your balls, not your head, on this album. And I don't want you to pre-think anything, I just want you to go for it. And here's the kicker. He told Bruce, and I don't think you can do it.
What?
And Bruce's own words, got pissed at that.
Oh, yeah.
And took up the challenge, and guess what? Bruce did it. And so that's Bob playing mind games. That's, when he's not blowing a whistle, he's fucking with your mind.
Bruce Kulick has a very sensible, concise feel and tone, and he's a very pro player. You know what I mean? Like, he's very good. And I guess Bob probably thought maybe he's a little too good, a little too well-rounded.
Yeah.
Like, where are the rough edges?
Yeah, Bruce isn't doing any of the finger tapping stuff on this album or anything. It is very primitive guitar playing.
But Bruce Kulick comes from that Eddie Van Halen era and stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't just call him Bob Kulick a little bit ago, did I? I feel like I might have. Maybe I was talking about Bob Ezrin. I don't know. We're talking about Bruce Kulick, obviously.
Bad boy.
Yeah. Tough Love, yeah. I mean, Tough Love, every time we do a deep dive like this, there's one song on every album we do a deep dive on. I kind of realized, I think I like that more than I originally did.
Mm-hmm.
And Tough Love would be that for me. I think it's a great song.
Tough. Love.
That you can really hear Gene saying that.
Yeah. It's not really my world.
Yeah.
I'll skip that one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I just want to point out really quick, Bruce plays bass, getting credit on that too. And so up next is Spit. And do you remember a couple months ago we did the best Gene and Paul's vocals? Had I listened to Spit like we did earlier, we were cranking it, I would have put Spit for Gene's vocals.
Some people hate Spit, and some people dislike Domino also, and I can't figure out why. I think they're both absolutely killer. Spit's got some pretty obnoxious lyrics, of
They're
course.
very Spinal Tap lyrics.
Down on all fours and blah blah blah.
But the way Gene sings it, it's like he sounds like a sexual addict. His vocal, I mean, there's like, I don't think there's
Takes
any
one to know one.
I don't think there's any effect on his vocals. It's just really raw and from the gut. Ezrin obviously wanted it that way, and it fits the song perfect. That's why I would have picked that as one of Gene's best vocals.
If you get the unplugged, the full unplugged, uncut, you see him redoing Spit like 5 times because it's a mouthful. You know.
Great. I love the song, though. The riff galore in this song, right?
Absolutely great. And again, cool key changes and things happening. Bruce does the Star Spangled Banner.
There's a couple of bars.
What?
A couple bars.
Yeah. I've never quite understood they're doing good times, bad times. Dun, dun, they come out of it with the big triplet drum fill, da 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 da, back into that. But the way he places the melodic notes from the Star Spangled Banner, I never got it forever. But I realized today it's 2 bars of 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, dun dun. But his whole melody's kind of displaced. It's kind of hard to follow.
It's kind of awkward.
It is. It's weird. But he knows what he's doing, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, he had said that there was a line in the song originally that said something about being free right before that part, and he kind of was thinking of in terms of like Hendrix and being free and like Star Spangled Banner. So that happened. As it turns out, that line was taken out, and it kind of comes across as like it's about the all-American woman. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, we salute the all-American woman. In this case, one of the larger proportion. Which Gene has never shied away from liking.
Yeah, totally.
Paul has, actually. Which is funny because he sings all the really dirty lines of the song.
Yeah, totally.
But Spit, yeah, I mean...
and they're singing together. On this album, they're singing together a lot, too. It's cool.
It's kind of cool because that song and the very next song, which we'll get into... they both sing, so that's a cool little thing there. God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2, the sequel. A lot of people don't point this out. As a matter of fact, I haven't heard anybody point this out. But Russ Ballard wrote
Whatever you say, I know.
Russ Ballard wrote it, but not just that, but he wrote New York Groove. I mean, the same guy who wrote New York Groove wrote God Gave Rock and Roll.
And Into the Night.
And Into the Night.
Like, what the?
2 songs off Peter's Let Me Rock You Out.
Whoa.
So all Kiss members are all over this guy's songwriting. This, of course, was a song they wrote or they didn't write it. They rewrote it for the movie and recorded it for the Bill and Ted movie. Bill and Ted's Wild Shenanigans, whatever.
Wild Shenanigans.
So Paul wasn't a big fan of them including it on the album because he said, there's way stronger material.
Gene wanted to...
Well, the thing is,
Gene wanted it on the album.
song did good. I mean... It was successful, and it's also, Eric sang on it, so why not get him involved in the album as well? So
I heard Gene made special care that the song could be put on the album when they recorded it.
Yeah, again, Gene made all the right decisions.
I guess it took him like 5 days to record the song, and it's kind of a real tour de force prog rock. I mean, it's kind of hokey with the God Gave Rock and Royalty thing, but there's some very interesting things happening in the arrangement on that song also,
Very.
So to work that all out, because there's a lot of changes from the original song, to work that all out and get it recorded on the level it's on in 5 days, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, Arjun did the original version. Russ Fowler was in Argent. It almost sounds like a clean kind of production. You know?
Yeah. You can hear Bob's production too. There's all sorts of reverb on little guitars that are overlaid and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me it's a skip, but I do think it's very well put together.
Oh, it's a great production.
And I can hear it once in a while.
Yeah. Does it fit on the album? That's another story. But hey, it's there.
This, that reminds me, the sequencing of the songs. Very thoughtful on this album. The way it just stops and the ba-da-da, just like things cut straight to the next song. It's sequenced really, really good.
Sequencing is...
And paced really good in sequence.
Pacing an album is so important.
Yeah.
It really is. A bad pace, 10 great songs without a good pace won't be as good an album as it should be.
Hey, let's put all the kick-ass songs at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't hear that ever happen, but it's like they knew some of the songs were going to follow other ones, and it's really worked out really good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll give credit to Mr. Ezrin for that.
Yeah, Ezrin.
So up next would be Domino, and the first thing
Love it.
When I hear Domino, the first thing I think is that's Nasty Nasty by Black and Blue.
Oh, really?
That riff, dun 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 dun. That's the riff to Nasty Nasty.
Yeah, Dr. Fluck mentioned that the start sounds like ZZ Top. And
That's a good point.
But just the intro
Ralph,
version.
I hear you, man.
Just the intro part, though, really. The rest of it doesn't do ZZ Top for me.
No, not the rest.
But it's a great rollicking tune, and dun dun dun. It's got these cool hits, and I don't know, I love it. It's a great tune.
I fucking hate Domino.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. A couple things about it is the bass slides. There's a lot of cool bass slides everywhere.
Yes, there is.
Throughout the whole album, there's a lot of bass slides.
Gina just discovered bass slides.
He always loved bass slides.
Who doesn't like a good bass slide?
Heck yeah. My bass player in my group does not like bass slides. Cameron.
He's not a show-off.
He'll never watch this, so I could talk so much shit right now. No, I'm always like, dude, do a big slide there. We have this song that I said, you got to do a slide there.
You just won't do it?
I wrote it in, man. Come on, you got to do it.
Is he?
He's just not a big slider. He's a jazz guy. He wants to
Then he's into
play cool notes.
Stuff.
He wants to set off that chord in a nice way with a cool little, he doesn't care about going, "Row." He could be playing a note at that time. That's probably what he's thinking. But for me, Gene, that's where I get the love for bass slides. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no.
Distorted bass with a little boom.
Yeah.
So he does it on this album. He does it on Domino, a few times in the first minute. There's a bunch. And
we love you, Cameron, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
On the off chance he watches.
He will never see it. There's a cool key change going into the guitar solo. Sets the guitar solo up nice. That stuff's always happening in Gene songs. The guitar solo in a Gene song, I feel like, is a special place.
Gene has said that he drew inspiration from Deuce on this song. Personally, I don't really hear it. And Christine 16, obviously, vocally.
Yeah.
And subject matter-wise, young girl. I like Domino. I was kidding earlier. I said I fucking hate it. I like Domino. I do. I like the next song more, though, and Peter doesn't.
What is it?
Heart of Chrome.
I don't like it, but you do.
This is a fun episode.
You are.
Heart of Chrome.
I feel like I'm arguing with my 6-year-old. That's how we argue. We never actually argue. He's absolutely amazing, but he'll just ask me something forever, and I'll just jerk him around for 10 minutes straight. Dad, can I have a lollipop? I'm not, but you are. No, Dad, but no. Yes. I just argue with him.
Tell me at the end you got the lollipop.
Yeah, I give him what he wants. He's a great kid.
All right, yeah, he is. He's his kid.
Unlike Cameron, who won't do bass slides.
Yeah, what is up with that?
I don't know. I'm going to execute him at the next practice.
I'm
going to have a guillotine above the back door when he comes in for the next practice.
So Heart of Chrome. I mentioned Heart of Chrome on... Remember this episode we did, it was number 2, our favorite non-makeup Kiss songs that nobody watched?
You chose that?
It was in it. And a song that you picked is on this album, which we're going to get to in a bit. So I said on that song I love Paul's vocals, and I might have mentioned this on the Paul vocal episode as well.
And they are good.
Yeah, they are amazing. And that's what makes the song for me. So, not that musically it's not a great song, and by the way, written by Paul, Vinnie, and Bob.
So Paul and Vinnie in the same room, or Vinnie had an idea he handed over?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Well, one thing I do know though is Vinnie wasn't around for the song's completion. So You might be onto something with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of always wondered
I
that.
can't picture Paul and Vinnie in the same room in 1992 or 1 or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
was. But yeah, I think Gene and him were in the same room for Unholy.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows with Paul and Vinnie? They have kind of a weird relationship. Me and Mr. Mustard.
Well, at that point, I can't remember what it was. They talk shit in the papers, but you see someone in person and it's like, hey man, what are you gonna do? Have a fist fight? I mean,
Yeah. Paul, probably doesn't love to admit it, but he would. Vinny's super talented and a great songwriter.
he admits that. He just won't say anything else about him at all.
No.
Which is understandable when you've been sued over and over and over.
Yeah, I think it's up to 29 times now.
Really?
It's up there. It's up
Yeah,
there.
totally.
Thou shall not. Written by Gene and a guy who was in a band called Silent Rage called Jesse Damon, who, by the way, sings background all over this album.
Yeah.
So does Tommy Thayer, by the way.
Yeah.
And Jamie St. James.
Basically in the band.
Yeah. But yeah, Thou Shall Not. Peter was cranking this when I walked in.
Thou Shall Not and Unholy, my favorites on the album.
Kind of similar lyrical themes as well.
I just love it. I love the bridge. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Like Tom Petty said, your bridge needs to be better than the rest of the song so people want to get there. I think the bridge on Thou Shall Not is great. I think it's really cool. And there's just really cool things all over the place. In the solo, Hall of the Mountain King, he quotes. There's cool quotes in his solos all over this album, really. 2 or 3 songs.
See, I learned that right now.
Yeah, he goes dun 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 dun. You know that little part?
Okay.
Yeah, it's Hall of the Mountain King by Krieg.
Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah. Edward Krieg.
I didn't see Clapton get
Edward Krieg. What?
Songwriting credit? Clapton? No,
Clapton?
Yeah.
What?
See, Hall of the Mountain King by Cream?
Krieg.
Oh, okay. I think
Like
you
I
said Cream.
said, Edward Krieg.
What about Sabotage Hall of the Mountain King?
Yeah, they did it. That's my favorite Sabotage album for sure.
Okay, yeah.
I wear the Hall of the Mountain King. It's getting so worn out. I got to get a new Hall of the Mountain King shirt.
See, this guy needs a new Sabotage shirt, people.
Yeah, come on. Send them.
I
I wear extra small.
We love Thou Shalt Not. I mean, I believe that was in both of our top 20 non-makeup songs. Go back and watch that episode.
That song is fucking grooving. It's so grooving.
It is super effing good. Gene's vocals are so in your face. Great song.
And he's talking about, it's a bit of an anti-religion song.
The son of a bitch must be crazy telling me I'm gonna go down.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because, it's the thing that's close to Gene and Paul because they were just picked on by, the conservative religious people for so long.
Yeah. Two thumbs up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on. We just skipping the next song? Or
what is it?
Every time I look at you.
Okay, well, here's what I think. I think Paul thought this is going to be, first of all, the ballad was the hit on the last album.
True.
So Paul was probably saying to Gene, dude, okay, it's a heavy record, but still, look at Destroyer, it had Beth. I understand the logic, but to me, the song, but once again, I love Paul Stanley. I love just about everything he did especially everything he did up until Asylum. It's just fluff to me, really.
It's not that good.
Not even any cool chords or anything.
I like the orchestration when that comes in. That's very Bob Ezrin, but I like Paul's voice is kind of cool. He has that just woke up in the morning kind of gruff to it, but it doesn't do much for me.
91, heavy stuff was heavy at this point, but also power ballads were still on the radio for sure.
Yeah, I want to say like Firehouse or somebody had a big hit of that year, but he was trying to recreate Forever basically or Beth, and didn't work. And
I mean, it's good. I just don't want to hear it.
It's a well-crafted song. Dick Wagner, by the way, plays the guitar solo.
Really?
Yeah.
What the F?
Dick
I guess I
Wagner.
did not know that.
Yeah, he plays on Avery, Bob Ezrin album. But
that's cool.
Except the album. Dick Wagner plays the guitar solo. They brought him in. I'm not even sure why, but that happened.
It has all the makings of a huge ballad hit. I probably
in
wasn't.
'87, maybe it would have been.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the climate. So.
No, and it doesn't really fit on the album. Let's just say that right now.
Yeah, but Paul's logic probably was, well, did our ballads ever really fit? It's that little break from the heavy.
True.
That's probably what he was thinking.
I mean, yeah.
It's our thank you, or it's our, Beth or whatever. But
Yeah.
it really, in retrospect, doesn't fit the album at all.
Yeah, and then they end up putting it on Unplugged as well, right? And it wasn't. It was a single on the album. I think it might have been the last single or something, and it did nothing.
Yeah.
Just crickets, tumbleweeds. But yeah,
I mean, by the time the tour '92 is coming around, you know, that song wasn't probably going to do much, really.
no.
Music at that point was very defiant, and you know.
Yeah. So Paul got his ballad on the album, and we listened to the other songs. Hey, speaking of which, okay, I want to say something about this next song, "Paralyzed." I'll be honest with you, Peter Tietjen, and people out there. I wasn't a huge fan of this song.
Really?
Wasn't. Wait, let me finish. Then a couple years ago, we did that episode, the top 20 non-makeup songs. Peter Tietjen put that on his top 20 non-makeup songs. So, light bulb went off. I should listen to that song closer, and I did. And oh my fucking god,
There's so
that
much-
song is fucking amazing.
Yeah, there's so much great stuff.
So,
happening.
and what this is the point I'm trying to get yourself a friend like Peter Tietjen, people, because
And you mentioned they stole some chords from Queensryche on there.
yeah, that
Unintentionally
na-na-na-na-na-na-na is Queensryche Last Time in Paris. Yeah,
Check it out. It really is.
it's a great song.
I don't know
too.
if it's the whole melodic movement with that chord, but it's got those little pedal notes. It's that thing. Then it changes the top note or whatever.
No, seriously though, I'm being serious for a second. Peter, and I have another friend like this, Shane. Get yourself good musical friends, because their opinions matter and they can turn you on to stuff. And I wasn't a huge fan of Paralyzed for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, it's at the end of the album,
And yeah,
and look what it's between.
but when,
Every time, and I just
when my podcast partner buddy here puts that in his top 20 songs, I'm like, whoa, okay, I got to listen to that some more. And so I did, and I love it now. It's probably in my top 3 or 4 in the album. So
That's killer. Let's just pretend we're gonna hug. All right, that was good. That was good.
the chorus is so fucking cool.
It's so cool. There's so many cool changes in it. I mean, it's kind of progressive Gene.
There's our thumbnail.
It's kind of progressive.
There's our thumbnail.
There's our thumbnail. It's kind of progressive Gene. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in there.
No, yeah, very cool.
And it's another Gene song people choose to kind of dislike often, and I don't know why. You know?
Can I say something really quick about people that dislike this album? No.
Yeah.
Excuse me. In particular, Rolling Stone gave it 1 star.
1 star?
Yeah. So Rolling Stone,
1 star?
1 star. Fuck
That's-
you, Rolling
that's
Stone.
bad.
That's just like they already know we're gonna hate this album before they listen to it.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
Yeah, that's what that is. So.
Yeah, that's not even having an
Preconceived
open
idea.
in mind or anything, because they would at least realize Kiss kind of went above and beyond for this album.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just when you hear the first song, you're not going to give it a. It's so different from what they had done. You wouldn't have much to say about it, or
yeah,
kind of odd. Anyway, what do you think about "I Just Wanna"? Do you want to talk about it?
I just want to forget that song.
I just wanna. To me, it's a little bit annoying.
It's a little happy for this album, to be honest with you. And Vinnie co-wrote this with Paul. I don't really hear much of Vinnie in it. I don't know what he contributed.
I think it's the second single.
It was a second single. But I don't know. I mean, it's fine, I guess. That's the most I'll say positively about it. It is what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, the videos were made by a certain guy. What's his name that did the videos?
I can't remember his name, but he did all the Pantera videos.
And they wanted somebody different and who understood kind of what was happening at the time. And they learned a lot about themselves because the guy told them, no, don't run around like mice on the stage like crazy, like it's 1986. You don't need to cover so much ground. Like you're not gonna like run for these people. You have to be cool, Just sit there and rock. That's what people want these days. Mm-hmm. So he coached them like to get out of that 80s mega band doing laps around the stage as fast as you can.
And it worked because they chose to use him on all the videos on this album. Yeah. So, yeah. And Unholy, like we talked about earlier, that's one of their best videos.
Yeah, my first job, I was probably a few minutes into it. I mentioned this before, and I had my little bus bin. I looked up at the screen, and it was part of the way into the video. I was like, whoa, because I had been out of Kiss for a couple of years. I hadn't really been. I didn't buy Hot in the Shade. That was the first album I didn't buy.
You didn't miss much, Peter.
Paul's going for it over there.
Yeah. We always play live Kiss when we're doing this.
So I didn't buy that, but then I saw this, and then I went and picked this up. So
yeah, good return.
Yeah.
So
the return of Kiss.
Yeah. So I just want. I mean, I could take it or leave it, and I'm choosing to leave it right now at this moment.
Yeah. I just want a silly. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. The album ends with Car Jam 91. Is it? Yeah. Is it 91 or 81? I know it was recorded in 81.
81. Yeah. This is 91 version.
Yeah, but what do they call it? They call it Car Jam 81. Okay. Yeah.
They call it 81?
Yeah. Car Jam 81.
Really, it's 91 version.
Yeah.
Because they took Ace's guitar off and stuff.
So yeah, what this is a demo from the Elder, and it was a demo, but it was more like just kind of a song fragment idea kind of thing, and it was Ace and Peter playing on it.
It's Breakout.
Or excuse me, Ace and Eric.
It's Breakout, right?
It became Breakout.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's not the best Eric drum solo, but it's something. The funny thing is they had a lot of live solos that they probably could have picked from that were pretty damn good. What they figured, let's be nostalgic and go back to the first album.
Yeah, I mean, this was Eric pretty much right after he joined the band.
Yeah.
A year later or so, and I love the riff. I mean, this is sole credited just to Eric, so apparently he wrote the whole thing. But Ace does play on the demo from '81. Back in the '80s, when Kiss bootlegs were kind of making their way around the circuit, I got the Elder demos. Of course, I had to have that, right? Mm-hmm. And this was on there. It was called Heaven at the time, and I loved it. I was like, whoa! And then, of course, I hear it as Breakout, and so I've always kind of loved that riff and everything. And I'm glad they included it. Obviously, a tribute to Eric. But as he pointed out, maybe not his best drum solo, but it's not like it sucks. It's Eric, and it's. Of course it ends the album, and and then you remember Eric, and you go like this, and so. Yeah, Car Jam '81. Yeah, Eric Carr. Check out our Eric Carr episode because you know what? No one else is watching it. That episode's not doing good.
Oh, really?
No.
That's ironic.
I know.
You think Eric Carr would be something people would be interested in hearing about for a change?
Yeah. But Revenge, I mean, I guess Kiss had 20 studio albums. I would place it around 10 or 11 on my top 20. I mean, I do love it.
This is what I do personally. I back when I was just burning CDs for the car and stuff, I burned half the songs from here, the Gene songs.
I knew that.
And half the songs from Carnival. And together I had a great album. It was all Gene stuff, And like I said, love Paul, but these two albums, I just feel like he's not really...
he's kind of out of his comfort zone.
It's not him. But on Psycho Circus, Paul's back, I think. I love Dreamin'. I love the title track. I love those tunes.
Okay.
From him.
I love the title. I hate Dreamin'. It's one of my least favorite Kiss songs. Plus, it kind of sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, people... really? People say that about Dreamin' too. I've never understood that why either, because I think it's a great tune.
That's hey, more power to you. Hey, maybe this is one of those. If Peter likes it, I should listen to it.
Now you love it.
We're gonna do our Psycho Circus episode 2 months and be like, "Dreamin's the best song."
So Dreamin's the best Kiss album ever recorded. I think it's really good though. I do dig it a lot.
Okay.
So there's 2 or 3 Paul songs on that album that are the strongest songs for me on that album. Yeah.
Psycho Circus. The song is their best song pre or post 1998.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song's incredible.
And then on the last 2 albums, of course, Paul had some really good songs,
Yeah,
but
long way down.
For this little era here, I feel like maybe he just wasn't quite on board yet.
Vocally, he was still a powerhouse.
Yeah, absolutely, But
yeah. Okay, yeah. So that was our Revenge episode.
There it was.
Oh wait, we should mention though. That was we just talked about the album. The tour commenced in April '92. They started in clubs. They want to, the grassroots kind of thing, build it up. And then they went to England, did some clubs and stuff. But then they start the America tour in October '92. I seen 2 shows, Seattle and Portland. Shane and I talked some guide into driving us to Portland to see the show. And so, yeah, that was very cool seeing 2 shows on the tour. Sparsely attended shows.
Really? Were they really?
Yeah, but not just those, but there were some worse attended shows.
Really?
Not the best attended tour. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a very good tour musically. We've all heard Alive 3. Might not be my favorite Kiss live album, but they were on. I mean, they played good together. Eric Singer was like in his double bass prime, you know? It's Kulik was amazing, just like he was on this album. Alive 3 was a result of that tour. We're probably not going to do an Alive 3 episode, right? Just because it's Alive 3.
I'm not a huge fan of it. But,
yeah.
it's okay.
So we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
That was a result of the tour. And hey, musically, and we're back with a vengeance. And cool stage, Revenge was awesome. It just didn't catch on with the public. Grunge was taking over and all that. So when they finished with that tour, it was kind of back to the drawing board, and we'll get to that coming up in future episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Revenge again, probably number 10 for me in the top 20 albums.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, where would you place it?
I placed it right after Asylum. I don't really do the numerical thing, but for me, Kiss was gold. All from first album all the way up to Asylum, amazing, And then Crazy Nights. It's nostalgic for me because it came out right when I was first couple years when I was into them. I like it. I have to be in the mood to want to feel like that. But I like it. It's very radio. When I want to feel like radio, it's fun. It's uplifting.
Hey, we have a Crazy Nights episode that people should tune into.
What do you know? When you want to get uplifted,
it's a long one. Is that our super long one?
Go put on Cray Nights.
Yeah.
It is pretty
Cray Nights.
Cray Nights. But these days, what do I put on? After Asylum, I'll put this on.
Okay, so so post Asylum, that's your favorite Kiss album. Okay.
No.
More than.
It's just I just like the Gene songs of all the songs. I think after that, I just
Anyway, Kiss Revenge. Please like, subscribe, smash that like button, and comment, whatever. We're going to be back soon, hopefully.
You know what's next? Carnival.
You say that, we're going to be back next week doing top 10 Peter drum fills or something,
Yeah.
Well, I love her all I can during the third verse. No, we're going to try to get to Carnival very soon, right? So, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jason. This guy's Peter Tietjen. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Yeah.